All right. Well, here we are again. And now we want to take a look at 12 jobs that I think are worth the wait. Um, Jobs that I think that if you, they're going to take some schooling, but if you do the jobs and you follow the schooling, it's going to be worth the wait. So without further ado, let's move into it. The first job is what you see here is the lineman job. Okay? Linemen, they make good money. They make good money. They work on crews, and what a lineman does is basically work on overhead and underground electrical, high voltage electrical wire. Well, I believe they work on all voltages, but especially the high voltage power lines. Those are the guys up there on the poles you see, or in the vaults down below. And guys or women that work up there and work on those power lines. Now, this is a good paying job. This job pays a lot of money. I remember talking to a guy one time I bumped into at a bank one time. He was telling me when I was younger to get into this job, and I didn't listen to him because at my job that I was at the time, I was too happy. Money wasn't the issue for me. I liked getting off so I could go play basketball. So I didn't really pursue this. I wish I would have listened to this man, back in the day, because he was only about maybe 7 or 8 years older than me. He wasn't that much older than me, but the guy was telling me he was making like $250,000, $300,000 a year, being a lineman for Edison. And so I was like, wow, I thought it was impressive. And we were both perplexed, because I walked away like, why would you spend all your time making that money? And that money can't make you happy. And then he walked away saying, man, I just told this man how to make $300,000 and he's not even tripping, So it was kind of like a standoff, right? But the thing about it is, I'm sure he looked at it later like, man, I could have spent more time with my family. And I looked at it like, well, I could have, $300,000 a year, 15, 20 years ago would have helped out. So I wouldn't have, but then I wouldn't be the person I am today if I had that happen. So everything works for a reason, but I could have at least gave it more consideration. But I'm telling you now, this is a good job. You need to look into getting to being a lineman. So, like I said, linemen, they work on these power poles, they work on vaults, and they always have overtime. There's always a project there's always power lines that need to be updated. There's always infrastructure that needs to be, it needs to be, updated. Everything, it's always power. You're going to have power. So, lineman, that's the, layman term. The technical term is electrical distribution mechanic. You can look that up, and there's one union that they belong to, and that is the IBEW. You can go to the IBEW's website and look up how to become a lineman in your state, in your city, and or your country or whatever, and then you can see how to be a lineman. Because once you're a lineman, that's a trade you can take anywhere in the planet. Electricity works the same way anywhere, just about as far as I know, in the universe. So you can take that anywhere and make yourself some money. And I mean, and when you actually graduate from schools, a lot of these companies that work with that hire linemen, they will sometimes they have signing bonuses. They have different things just to hire you, even though you're going to do a 5-year apprenticeship, then you're going to journeyman out, but it's worth the wait, because once you're a certified lineman, I mean, You basically can write your own check. If you're a good employee and you're a good worker and you do good work, it's like anything else. You know what I mean? You're a good basketball player. You can write your own check. You're a good pilot. You can write your own check. You're a good lawyer. You can write your own check. You're a good lineman. You can write your own check. So lineman, and you don't have to go per se to college. You don't have to go to an Ivy League school to get yourself in a position where you can make that kind of money, because they do a lot of overtime. That's how the base salary is probably around 150,000, but with all the bonuses and raises and everything, you can get up to in the threes, in the high twos and threes. That's not bad. That is not bad. And if you know what to do with it, you can not only do you get that, but you can get retirement, health benefits. You can get all kinds of benefits by being a lineman. So, or electrical, or whichever one, electric distribution mechanic, whichever term you want to use. Most people use the term lineman. So you just look into it and see, what will work best for you. If now you're going to have to learn how to climb poles. You're going to have to learn how to work with high voltage wiring. You're going to have to learn how to work with all different types of guys. Linemen are not, they're not fluffy guys, and they don't have tolerance for sloppy work. Because why don't they have tolerance for sloppy work? Because somebody can get killed up there. So they're not. I forgot, and you're gonna have to be way responsible to be up there on those poles, because people got to trust you with their lives, and they're not gonna tolerate sloppy work. So just remember that. So when you see these guys and you actually get in the program, and these guys are kind of hard on you, they're hard on you because they're trying to, they've seen people get killed up there being sloppy. So, but if you're willing to learn, and you're willing to work hard, and you're willing to pay attention, you can mitigate all the risk involved. Because there's risk involved in any job. There's risk involved. So, but lineman has, you're getting paid for being up on those poles. You're getting paid for being down in those vaults, and you're getting paid for your expertise. So it's worth it, in my opinion. If this is something that you feel is worth it, and you feel like, I can do that job, I can think clear at all times, lineman might be something you want to get into. All right. So I had to change hats. So first thing we did was look at a lineman. That was my number one choice. Number two is going to be a manager. Now, not necessarily you don't have to go to a college to be a manager. And if you do have to go to school, it's not going to be as long. But it can be worth the wait. Management is something that you have to kind of, just like being a lineman, just like almost any job, it's something that you have to be, you have to have a certain personality to do it. And so you want to make sure that you obviously have to be a people person, because you're managing lots of different things at one time. People, sometimes money, sometimes resources, sometimes whatever it is, you're managing that at one time. But mainly it'll probably be people and or money. So as you're managing these people, what do you need to be a manager? I mean, managing, you can make a lot of money. I mean, I think they start out, you can make from anywhere from $40, $50, $60,000 all the way up to $160,000, $180,000 a year, right? I mean, that's not bad to not have to go and get a 4-year degree. I mean, it probably helps if you do have one, but it's not necessary. Many places that have management, they have internal management programs where they will teach you and train you how to be a manager from the inside. So let's say you get an entry-level job, you start off at one job, and then you just keep promoting up until you can get into management. So the thing about it is, do you have the personality to be a manager? because there are a lot of management jobs out there. You just have to see if you're qualified for them. Some of them, you require a 4-year degree. A lot of them don't. A lot of them have internal training programs, and you need to be able, or they need to be able to pull you in and train you and have you do some working with them, working with the company long enough for them to see if you'd be a good fit as a manager. So, but it's not going to be, like I said, the time you're going to be putting into a 4-year degree. But even if it was $160,000 a year, that is not bad. I live in Southern California. That is not bad out here. You know what I mean? So that's not bad. And it's pretty expensive out here. So I think anywhere you go and you can make that kind of money as a manager. Now, I'm not saying every place is like that. Every management job is going to be making that kind of money. But I'm saying you can, depending on what type of, obviously if you're managing at a place like Amazon, you're going to be making more money than if you're managing at, the local Vons or something. You know what I mean? So it's going to be different levels of how big the company is and how many people you're managing, you're over. So, but just know that you can make some decent money management. I mean, even at Avons, even there, you could probably make about $70,000-$80,000 a year there. You know what I mean? So, it's not bad money. It's just, like I said, do you have the personality to really be able to work with all types of different attitudes, people, different situations going on? Can you think on your feet? That type of thing. And so, and you're going to be the person when a customer or a customer or client has an issue, you're going to be the person called up to deal with it. So, do you have those people skills? And if you don't, can you get them? So that is what I would look into here. Like you see these people here, they're in the management, they're like management type or being trained to be management. You know what I mean? Do you have the people skills? Can you deal with people? Because that's what you're going to mostly be doing. There's a lot of benefits when you get into management. A lot of times it's a salaried position, not like a wage. The difference between a salary and a wage, you get paid every hour you work. And if you don't physically work an hour, you won't get paid. But a salary, you get paid whether you work those hours or not. You're going to get paid a salary based on you working those hours. But sometimes you may work more, sometimes you work less, but it depends. But you're going to definitely get at least your salary. So it's something that you want to think about, something that you could consider. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to do. Like, some people really have a passion for working with people and like people. Myself, I like people. I like working with people. None of us want to be working with a bad person, but that just comes with the territory. So, but anyway, check out management. Check out a place where you could go to get into management. I would necessarily say I would check out places like that are strong, big corporations. You know what I mean? So if you're looking to get a higher paying salary, that just makes sense, right? But like I said, manager, you can make from 50, 60, 40, 50, 60, 100, up to $160,000 a year, depending on how many people and the kind of size of the company that you're managing. And a lot of these companies have internal management programs, where meaning you can start out at an entry-level job and work your way up to be a management, and not that long of a period of time, maybe a couple of years, not that long of a period of time. So any job you're going to get, any of these jobs I'm talking to you about, there's going to be a down curve. There's going to be a curve. You're not going to just walk in, hey, I'm here. I'm here. Where's my $160,000? It's not going to happen. You're going to have to put some time in. Why? Because there's people in front of you. It's like you walked into the bank. There's somebody in front of you already. So they're not going to take you in front of in front of those people that's already in line. It's a line. It's a process. And you got to wait your turn till you get to the front of the line. Then you can get picked. So anyway, check out being a manager. You can Google that information and see for yourself, and try to find a company that's strong and and or you can, or the private sector or the public sector, you can try to find a company that's strong, and you can, apply and get your feet in. However you can get in, you got to get in as a custodian. Get in as a custodian, then you can work your way up to wherever position you want to be. And but we're talking about management, but you can work your way up. So anyway, stay encouraged. All right.